Okay. Okay. Welcome back to CML Infotech. We are talking about Ether channel from CCNA. Let's say when you configure same Ether channel configuration, instead of switch to, if you have a servers, you're from the switch perspective, your role that you need to tell them that we configured LACP. So they must configure from the LACP on the server side, and they do NIC teaming between two NIC card. Then they configure LACP. Then if they do LACP configuration on their end, automatically this side port is up. So we'll check about switch one. So let's say the switch one configuration. Show interface, show interface status. Now you can see that the port number 1 and 2 connected. When you do show interface trunk, you can see a port channel. Instead of individual physical interface, we can be able to see only port channel number. Then show spanning tree. Even within the spanning tree, before we are able to see that physical individual interface like G101, if I go up, okay, before we were able to see that port 10111 and 112, and one of the port is down, but here now we can see only port channel number, and this port is your port where your system is connected, your PC port, and this is your trunk port. So let's say G101 show run. You can see that G101, which is connected to PC1, your VLAN under VLAN number 10 as an access port. And the port channel 10 will have the port 1 and 2, which is physical port 1 and 2. So when you look into the spanning tree, you can see only one port as a logical port, and they binded into two, which the multiple speed. So the SCP by itself cannot identify multiple physical interface. Therefore, all the ports according to a spanning tree, it is allowing. Therefore, we couldn't get any block to port. Now let's say the command show ether channel summary. In the ether channel summary, you can see that the group number, we created port channel 10, and you can see SU, the capital S and U. The capital S, which means layer 2. So we configured layer 2 ether channel. So if you didn't configure any IP address to ether channel port, like for example, interface port channel 10, enter, then if you put any IP address, then we call it as layer 3 ether channel. We are more likely use this for the layer 3 ether channel for routing. In that case, you can see instead of S, you may able to see R for layer 3. Now you can see capital S, which is layer 2 ether channel. Then you can see U, capital U. The capital U means in use, it's we using. Then the protocol that we're going to use is LACP, link aggregation protocol, control protocol. Then you can see P, capital P. What does it mean by capital? This port is belongs to port channel. Sometimes you can see D, which means the port is down. When the port is down, which means either your port by physically the cable was down, the cable is damaged, or the cable is unplugged, or cable is generally when you think about between switch to switch connectivity, always it recommended to have uplink connectivity. When we say uplink, it's most likely that we're going to use SFP module with the 1 gig or 10 gig, then fiber cable. So If you see a down, which means your uplink is not up, which means your SFP may down, or SFP does not put properly, or SFP brand is different, or the speed is different, or your fiber splicing is different. And from the SFP, there are two: SRS, short range, LRS, long range. When you have a SRS, you need to use multi-mode cable. When you have LRS, you need to use single mode cable. So generally, we may do mistakes by having SR instead of LR and vice versa. And instead of single mode cable, we might use multi-mode cable. So these are the basic L1 level of troubleshooting to make sure that your physical connectivity would be perfect. Then also, if your source and destination switch, from and to switch, if not in the same rack, we might use the fiber connectivity through uh, patch panel. Then we do splicing, then we connect through dual core or 24 core connectivity between rack to rack. Then we also need to make sure by having fluke test the interconnection between patch panel to patch panel or splice to splice being perfect. It is not mean that when you say down, it's not only mean that your configuration is wrong or from the switch level is not good. Also, you need to think from the physical connectivity. Then you can see sometimes suspended. When we see suspended, your one side of switch is being configured and the other side didn't configure. Sometimes when we connect a server with a two NIC card towards to the switch 1 and switch 2, you may configure switch 1 and switch 2 with your port channel configuration, LACP, everything, but the server side they didn't configure or they forgot to do certain configuration. Or in between switch to switch, you configured here active, there passive. Or by mistake, here the physical port is correct, but the other side, the port which you configured is not the one which you physically connected. The port number by physically itself is wrong. It could be anything. Or the port is shut down by one side and the other side is up. So the suspended, it comes mostly for the configuration errors. So when you have suspended, check the show configuration. Instead of for the entire configuration, the best practice for you to troubleshoot, the first task, go show interface, then you can see the port channel number, port channel 10. And if your switch have multiple port channel, your description will help you to understand this port channel is specifically connected to where. Let's say you got an error that between switch 1 and switch 2 port is down. So you need to understand what's the connectivity between switch 1 and switch 2. So while doing show and configuration, the description will help you to understand that this port channel is connected to switch 2 with this port number. Then in the real routers or the higher end model, you can put show an interface, then the specific interface. But here the interface will not work. Then you can go with show ether channel summary, will help you to understand what ports physically is being a member of that specific port channel. Then you can see if it's S, then check the individual port configuration by giving show run interface, then GE1/1/1. So then you will come to know what is missing in this port configuration. Maybe they forgot to add the group number, or they made mistake by instead of active, they put the passive on both the side. And moreover, when you do this stuff, better to create a diagram, design a diagram which will make you your life easy. Instead of just thinking about, create a proper diagram. Then show ether channel. Then you have port channel commands will help you to understand that. We can also set the port security for the port channel. Then you can see that what kind of modes states that you configured called active and how long it has been active. from the last 14 minutes, the port is up. So this is the general error checking in between ether channel or port channel configuration. So some switch will have ether hyphen channel or port hyphen channel. It depends upon the model and the vendor. Now, if you look into the port speed, you can see that show interface. What's the physical interface? G1/1/1. You can see this, the port is 1000 Mbps. And this is G111. And you can see this is another G112, 1000 Mbps. So the total would be 2000 Mbps, 2 gig speed. Now, if you look into show interface status, you can see this being connected. Show interface. Now you can see the different commands called switch port. Then we can see the port channel 10. Show interface switch port. In some switch, it will show you show interface switch port. Then we can put the specific port. Let's say show interface port channel 10. If you just give show interface switch port, you can see all the interface one by one. So we'll talk about port channel 10 now. This port channel 10 is a trunk, and the encapsulation that we configured as a .1Q. Then you know that the default VLAN is by default VLAN 1, and the default VLAN, and then native VLAN, which the tagging will not add. We haven't configured anything. It's a default VLAN. Then you can see here, if you come down, all VLANs are allowed. So majorly we are talking about the port is trunk, and the encapsulation protocol is .1Q, and the native VLAN is VLAN 1. Same thing. If you look about the gig 1, which is connected to the PC 1, you can see this is access. And within the access, you can see this is static access. And gig 1, 2, hope you are with me. This gig 101, which is showing as a static access, and gig 102, which is showing as a dynamic auto. So generally, all the ports of the switch is by default dynamic, which means when you connect your PC into G02, it will automatically become access. When you remove your PC from G102, and if you connect any other switch into G02, that will be automatically become trunk. That's we call as negotiated, automatically negotiated. So the best practice, you have to configure whether it is access or trunk by manually, by statically, in order to avoid, let's say, hacking or some we called denial of DOS or many hacking concepts. So that's better for us to configure any specific port, either it is access or trunk. Then the remaining configurations are similar to the same. The way if I come down to the last port, which is gig 111, which I configured as a trunk, which says that all the VLANs is allowed. So if your port is trunk or access. So those information, you may also get it from show interface switch port. Now we'll talk about the specific into show interface port channel. Let's say show interface port channel 10. You can see here 2100 Mbps. So the 2000 from both the ports, physical port 1, gig 1 and gig 2. And we have something especially more to talk about queuing. You might heard about in the OSI layer, we will talk about the, let's say, flow control, buffer overflow. If something received by the port will be look into those information, then will be forward into the specific destination, which we call as queuing. QoS concept, like first in, first out. So let's say here, because of half duplex, it is 1000 for one interface and 1000 another interface. Then it is 100 Mbps. Let us configure this as full duplex, interface port channel 10. Let's say interface port channel 10, duplex, you can put full. This is a fiber interface, it's automatically, so we'll put auto. Okay, it's fixed. So we have a physical switch here. So we'll do this settings on the physical switch on the upcoming session, inshallah. So this is talking about ether channel configuration. So when you have switches like this, we can make multiple physical ports to become one group as a port channel to get the full speed availability between any switches. Let's say if you have any other switches, as an example, switches here, for example, I have another one switch. We can make when you put, you also need to know this switch has uplink. So let's say when I turn on this new switch, CLI enable show interface status. You can see here fast Ethernet starting from fast Ethernet 1 until 24 is the downlink port, which is 100 Mbps speed. Then you have a Giga, which is your uplink port. You can see here 24 fast Ethernet ports and 2 uplink ports. When you switch, have 100 Mbps downlink, then your uplink should be 1 gig. If you have a downlink with 1 gig speed, then your uplink must be 1 gig or 10 gig. Then if you wish to connect between these two switches, you can use dual link between them and to make them as one port channel. Then you can do a configuration. I will share you some exercise. So you can do a similar design and to practice. Hope you understood the session regarding the ether channel configuration. Thank you for being with us from CML Infotech. If you have any concern, any doubts, you can please feel to reach us anytime, inshallah.